Sleep deeply every night with these 5 drinks. No, you did not hear that wrong. If you are over 60 and you keep waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, the problem may not be your age. It may not even be your bladder. The real problem may be that your body is missing the right nighttime signal. Plain water hydrates you during the day, but at night, plain water does not calm your brain. It does not relax tight muscles. It does not support melatonin. It does not lower stress hormones. For many seniors, it simply moves through the body, fills the bladder, and pulls them out of deep sleep. And there is a reason this gets worse after 60. Your body produces less melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Your antidiuretic hormone also declines, which means your kidneys hold less fluid overnight. At the same time, your bladder becomes more sensitive and your nervous system wakes up more easily. So you drink one innocent glass of water before bed, and suddenly you are awake in the dark, walking to the bathroom, and then lying in bed for another hour, unable to fall back asleep. But here is the proof that this is not hopeless. Certain drinks contain natural sleep-supporting compounds. Magnesium can relax the nervous system. Tryptophan helps the body make serotonin and melatonin. Apogene and chamomile can calm an overactive brain. Tart cherry contains natural melatonin. Curcumin and golden milk may help reduce nighttime stress. And glycine from gelatin or bone broth can support deeper, more restorative sleep. This is why the right drink matters more than most seniors realize. We are not talking about drinking a huge cup of liquid before bed. That would make the problem worse. We are talking about a small amount taken at the right time with nutrients that tell your aging body it is safe to rest now. And once your body gets that signal, everything can change. Your heart rate slows, your muscles soften, your brain stops racing, your bladder is less likely to interrupt you too early. And for the first time in years, you may wake up feeling like you actually recovered overnight. So tonight, before reaching for plain water, listen carefully. These 5 drinks may help you sleep deeper, wake less often, and start your morning with a clearer mind. Let's begin with drink number 5, because this is the point where many seniors first realize their sleep problem may not be permanent after all. And surprisingly, the solution starts with something incredibly simple: warm, unsweetened almond milk. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Milk? Isn't that just an old home remedy? Not exactly. What makes almond milk powerful after the age of 60 has very little to do with tradition and everything to do with biology. As we get older, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress signals. Small discomforts feel larger. Muscles stay tighter at night. The brain has a harder time slowing itself down. And one of the hidden reasons behind this is magnesium deficiency. Researchers now estimate that a large percentage of older adults do not get enough magnesium consistently, especially those taking common medications for blood pressure, acid reflux, or diabetes. Magnesium matters because it acts almost like a brake pedal for the nervous system. It helps quiet excitatory brain activity, relaxes muscle fibers, and supports the production of GABA, one of the brain's main calming neurotransmitters. Without enough of it, your body can feel tired but still unable to fully settle into deep sleep. And almond milk contains something else important: tryptophan. This amino acid helps the body produce serotonin, which later converts into melatonin, the hormone responsible for maintaining stable sleep cycles through the night. One clinical study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that adults who regularly consumed almond milk experienced noticeable improvements in deep sleep quality and woke up fewer times during the night. But honestly, the most convincing evidence is often what happens in real life. I remember hearing about a woman named Patricia, age 68, from Arizona. She said every night followed the exact same pattern. Fall asleep around 10 cents, wake up at 1:30, then again at 3 dal, then stare at the ceiling until morning with aching legs and a foggy mind. She assumed this was simply what aging felt like. But after trying one small glass of warm almond milk about an hour before bed for several nights, she noticed something strange. Her body felt calmer before sleep even started. Her legs stopped twitching. Her mind slowed down faster. And for the first time in months, she slept nearly 6 straight hours without waking up once. Now, does this mean almond milk is a miracle cure? No. But it does reveal something incredibly important. Your aging body still responds when given the right signals. Sometimes the problem is not that your sleep system is broken. It is simply undernourished, overstimulated, and waiting for support. And surprisingly, the next drink may help even more, especially if your biggest problem is not your body, but a mind that refuses to stop thinking at night. Now let's move to drink number 4, because for many seniors, the real enemy is not the bladder, it is the mind. The body feels exhausted, the eyes are heavy, but the brain simply refuses to turn off. Thoughts keep replaying. Worries return the moment the room becomes quiet. Old conversations resurface. The heart beats just a little too fast, and suddenly it is 2:17 in the morning, and sleep feels impossibly far away. This is exactly why chamomile tea has survived for generations, not as folklore, but because modern neuroscience now confirms what many older adults discovered long ago. Chamomile contains a natural compound called apigenin, and apigenin interacts directly with GABA receptors in the brain. These receptors are responsible for calming neural activity, slowing excessive mental stimulation, and helping the body transition into rest mode naturally. And this matters far more after the age of 60. As cortisol rhythms become less stable with aging, many seniors experience what sleep researchers call nighttime hyperarousal. In simple language, the brain stays partially alert even when the body is desperately tired. You may technically be asleep, but your nervous system never fully settles into the deepest restorative stages of sleep. That is why so many older adults wake up exhausted despite spending 8 hours in bed. A clinical study published in the Journal of Advanced Nursing followed older adults who drank chamomile tea nightly for 2 weeks. Researchers observed meaningful improvements in sleep quality, fewer nighttime awakenings, and significantly faster sleep onset. But what fascinates me most is not just the science. It is the emotional transformation many people describe afterward. A retired accountant named Gloria, age 72, once described her nights as mental marathons. Every evening she would lie down intending to sleep, only to replay bills, family worries, medical appointments, and memories from years earlier. Some nights she felt as though her body was resting while her mind kept running in circles. She began drinking a small cup of warm chamomile tea about an hour before bed. Nothing dramatic happened the first night, or the second. But by the end of the week, she noticed something subtle but powerful. Her thoughts no longer felt sharp at bedtime. The tension in her chest softened. Her breathing slowed naturally. Instead of fighting sleep, she drifted into it. And that difference is critical. Sleeping pills often force unconsciousness, but they do not always create restorative sleep. Many medications suppress brain activity artificially, leaving seniors groggy, foggy, or unsteady the next morning. Chamomile works differently. It helps signal safety to the nervous system. It tells the aging brain that it no longer needs to remain on guard. To use it properly, steep 1 bag of chamomile tea for 5 to 7 minutes, and drink it slowly about 45 minutes before bedtime. Do not rush it. Sip it gently. Let your body associate that warmth with rest and recovery. But even a calm mind cannot stay asleep if the body itself is missing one critical hormone. And the next drink contains something almost no natural beverage can provide directly: real melatonin. Now let's move to drink number 4, because for many seniors, the real enemy is not the bladder, it is the mind. The body feels exhausted, the eyes are heavy, but the brain simply refuses to turn off. Thoughts keep replaying. Worries return the moment the room becomes quiet. Old conversations resurface. The heart beats just a little too fast, and suddenly it is 2:17 in the morning and sleep feels impossibly far away. This is exactly why chamomile tea has survived for generations, not as folklore, but because modern neuroscience now confirms what many older adults discovered long ago. Chamomile contains a natural compound called apigenin, and apigenin interacts directly with GABA receptors in the brain. These receptors are responsible for calming neural activity, slowing excessive mental stimulation, and helping the body transition into rest mode naturally. This matters far more after the age of 60. As cortisol rhythms become less stable with aging, many seniors experience what sleep researchers call nighttime hyperarousal. In simple language, the brain stays partially alert even when the body is desperately tired. You may technically be asleep, but your nervous system never fully settles into the deepest restorative stages of sleep. That is why so many older adults wake up exhausted despite spending 8 hours in bed. A clinical study published in the Journal of Advanced Nursing followed older adults who drank chamomile tea nightly for 2 weeks. Researchers observed meaningful improvements in sleep quality, fewer nighttime awakenings, and significantly faster sleep onset. But what fascinates me most is not just the science. It is the emotional transformation many people describe afterward. A retired accountant named Gloria, age 72, once described her nights as mental marathons. Every evening she would lie down intending to sleep, only to replay bills, family worries, medical appointments, and memories from years earlier. Some nights she felt as though her body was resting while her mind kept running in circles. She began drinking a small cup of warm chamomile tea about an hour before bed. Nothing dramatic happened the first night, or the second. But by the end of the week, she noticed something subtle but powerful. Her thoughts no longer felt sharp at bedtime. The tension in her chest softened. Her breathing slowed naturally. Instead of fighting sleep, she drifted into it. And that difference is critical. Sleeping pills often force unconsciousness, but they do not always create restorative sleep. Many medications suppress brain activity artificially, leaving seniors groggy, foggy, or unsteady the next morning. Chamomile works differently. It helps signal safety to the nervous system. It tells the aging brain that it no longer needs to remain on guard. To use it properly, steep 1 bag of chamomile tea for 5 to 7 minutes and drink it slowly about 45 minutes before bedtime. Do not rush it. Sip it gently. Let your body associate that warmth with rest and recovery. But even a calm mind cannot stay asleep if the body itself is missing one critical hormone. And the next drink contains something almost no natural beverage can provide directly: real melatonin. Now we arrive at drink number 3. This is where the conversation becomes truly fascinating. Because unlike the previous drinks that help the body create sleep hormones indirectly, this one already contains the hormone itself, real melatonin, ready for your body to use immediately. The drink is tart cherry juice. Most people think melatonin only comes from supplements sold in pharmacies. But tart cherries are one of the few natural food sources that contain measurable amounts of bioavailable melatonin, and for seniors struggling to stay asleep through the night, that difference can be enormous. You see, after the age of 60, melatonin production often drops dramatically. The brain still knows how to fall asleep, but it loses the ability to maintain deep, uninterrupted sleep for long periods. That is why so many older adults wake up around 2 or 3 in the morning feeling suddenly alert for no reason at all. Their internal sleep signal weakens before morning arrives. And unfortunately, this creates a dangerous cycle. Poor sleep raises inflammation. Inflammation increases stress hormones. Stress hormones further damage sleep quality. Over time, the body begins aging faster from the inside out. Tart's cherry juice may help interrupt that cycle. Researchers studying adults with insomnia discovered something remarkable. Participants who consumed tart cherry juice regularly experienced significantly sleep duration and measurable improvements in sleep efficiency. One study found that total sleep time increased by more than 80 minutes in some individuals. Imagine that, more than an extra hour of restorative sleep, simply from supporting the body's natural melatonin rhythm. But the benefits may go even deeper than sleep alone. Tart cherries also contain anthocyanins, powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that may help reduce joint discomfort and nighttime inflammation. That matters because many seniors are not waking up only because of the bladder or stress. They are waking because aching knees, hips, shoulders, or back pain quietly pull the brain out of deep sleep over and over again. I remember hearing about a retired engineer named Richard, age 71. For years, he followed the exact same exhausting routine: fall asleep easily, wake at 3 like 2 in the morning with stiff joints and an active mind, walk through the dark house, half awake, then spend the rest of the night drifting in and out of shallow sleep. He eventually tried a small amount of tart cherry juice before bed, skeptical that something so simple could matter. But after several nights, he noticed he was waking less often. Then something happened that shocked him. One morning he realized the sun was already coming through the curtains before he had awakened naturally. It was the first uninterrupted night of sleep he had experienced in years. Now, it is important to understand this is not magic. Tart cherry juice should be used carefully, especially for people monitoring blood sugar or taking blood-thinning medications. A small amount is enough, usually about 2 to 3 ounces, roughly an hour before bed. But what makes this drink so powerful is the message it sends to the aging brain. Not stimulation, not sedation, a signal, a reminder of what healthy sleep chemistry once felt like. And yet, even melatonin cannot fully protect your sleep if one dangerous hormone remains elevated all night long: cortisol. Now we come to drink number 2, and this may be the most overlooked cause of sleepless nights after 60. Stress that never fully shuts off. Not emotional panic, not obvious anxiety. Something quieter and more dangerous. A body that remains stuck in survival mode even while lying in bed. Many seniors think they cannot sleep because they are getting older. But in reality, their nervous system may still be flooded with cortisol long after the day has ended. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but its effects go far beyond stress alone. When cortisol stays elevated at night, the heart rate remains slightly higher, the brain stays more alert, inflammation increases, and melatonin production becomes disrupted. Even worse, the body struggles to enter slow-wave sleep, the deepest stage of physical repair and recovery. This is why some older adults sleep for 7 or 8 hours and still wake up feeling exhausted. Their body rested, but it never truly recovered. And this is where golden milk becomes so interesting. Golden milk is a warm blend traditionally made with turmeric, milk, and a small amount of black pepper. But behind this simple drink is a surprisingly sophisticated biological effect. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural compound studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory and stress-regulating properties. Researchers now believe curcumin may help regulate the HPA axis, the communication system connecting the brain, adrenal glands, and stress response hormones. In simple terms, it helps tell the body that the emergency is over. One study published in Phytotherapy Research found that participants using curcumin experienced meaningful reductions in cortisol levels, along with improvements in sleep quality and mood. And for seniors, this matters enormously because chronic nighttime cortisol does more than interrupt sleep. It quietly strains the cardiovascular system night after night. As one sleep specialist explained, the body cannot heal while it still believes it is under threat. I once heard about a former military veteran named Daniel, age 74. Every night he went to bed physically tired but mentally alert. His heart always felt slightly restless. He described it as sleeping with one eye open, even when nothing was actually wrong. Then his daughter convinced him to try golden milk before bed. Warm almond milk, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and just a pinch of black pepper. At first, he laughed at the idea. But after 2 weeks, he noticed something unexpected. He no longer felt tense while lying in bed. His breathing slowed naturally. The pressure in his chest softened. Instead of waking repeatedly through the night, he began sleeping in longer, uninterrupted stretches. What makes black pepper important is something many people never hear about. Curcumin absorbs very poorly on its own, but piperine, the active compound in black pepper, can dramatically increase absorption, helping the body actually use the turmeric effectively. To prepare it, mix warm almond or oat milk with turmeric and a tiny pinch of black pepper. Drink it slowly about an hour before bed. Do not make it too strong. The goal is not stimulation. The goal is signaling calm and safety to the nervous system. But now we arrive at the final drink on this list, and unlike the others, this one does not simply help you sleep. It may help your body physically rebuild itself while you sleep. And now we arrive at drink number 1, the one most seniors ignore because it sounds too simple to possibly work. But this may be the closest thing on this list to a true nighttime recovery drink. Not just for sleep, but for the body itself. Gelatin or warm bone broth. At first, this surprises many people. They expect the number 1 sleep drink to be some rare herb or expensive supplement. Instead, the most powerful effect may come from something your grandparents probably consumed regularly without even thinking about it. The reason comes down to one remarkable amino acid, glycine. Glycine does something very unusual inside the aging body. It gently lowers core body temperature, slows heart rate, relaxes the nervous system, and helps increase slow-wave sleep activity, the deepest and most restorative stage of the sleep cycle. This is the phase where the body repairs muscle tissue, restores energy, regulates inflammation, and supports memory consolidation inside the brain. And this becomes critically important after 60 because older adults naturally spend less time in deep sleep compared to younger people. Even when seniors sleep enough hours, the quality of recovery happening inside the brain and body often becomes dramatically weaker. That is why so many older adults wake up feeling heavy, stiff, foggy, or strangely exhausted despite spending the whole night in bed. A study published in Neuropsychopharmacology found that participants who consumed before bedtime and fell asleep faster, slept deeply, and reported feeling significantly more refreshed the following morning. And unlike sleeping medications, glycine does not sedate the brain artificially. It supports the body's own natural transition into restorative sleep. But there is another reason this drink matters so much for seniors. Gelatin and bone broth also contain compounds that involve college support, joint maintenance, and tissue repair. In other words, this drink may help the body recover physically while the brain sleeps. That combination is extremely rare. I once heard about a retired construction worker named Leonard, age 76. For years, he described mornings as the hardest part of his day. His legs felt heavy when he stood up. His joints ached before breakfast. Even after sleeping, he never felt restored. His daughter began preparing him a small cup of warm bone broth each evening. Nothing large, just a light serving about 40 minutes before bed. After several weeks, he noticed he was waking less often during the night. But what surprised him most was the morning change. He said his body no longer felt stuck when he got out of bed. His legs felt lighter, his mind clearer, his mornings less painful. And honestly, that may be the hidden goal of deep sleep after 60, not simply unconsciousness, recovery. To prepare it, dissolve a teaspoon of unflavored gelatin into warm water, or slowly sip a small cup of low-sodium bone broth before bed. Do not overdo the volume. The goal is concentrated nourishment without overfilling the bladder, because the truth is, sleeping pills may force the brain to shut down, but they cannot always restore the body. Deep sleep is different. Deep sleep is repair. And sometimes the aging body simply needs the right raw materials to begin healing again overnight. But before you start drinking any of these tonight, there are 6 critical rules every senior needs to know, because even the healthiest nighttime drink can backfire if you use it the wrong way. Now, before you try any of these drinks tonight, there is something extremely important you need to understand. Even the healthiest nighttime drink can fail completely if you use it the wrong way. If you And this is exactly where many seniors accidentally sabotage their own sleep. Rule number one, never drink too much before bed. Your body does not need a giant glass of liquid at night. In fact, that usually makes sleep worse. Around 4 to 5 ounces is often enough. The goal is concentrated support, not flooding the bladder. Rule number two, timing matters more than most people realize. Drink your nighttime beverage about 60 to 90 minutes before bed, not while lying in bed watching television. This gives the body enough time to absorb nutrients and empty excess liquid before sleep begins. Rule number three, sip slowly. Do not chug it. Rapid fluid intake shocks the bladder and increases nighttime urination. Slow sipping allows the nervous system to relax gradually instead of staying stimulated. Rule number four, choose one drink at a time. Many seniors become excited and mix everything together. Do not do that. Try one drink consistently for a week and pay attention to how your body responds. Rule number five, always use the bathroom one final time before getting into bed. This simple habit alone can dramatically reduce nighttime awakenings. And finally, rule number six, remember that deep sleep is not just about sleeping longer. It is about helping the aging body repair itself again. Because after 60, good sleep becomes one of the most powerful forms of healing you still have. And sometimes one small change at night can completely transform how you feel in the morning. So tonight, which drink will you try first?